first, how do I pronounce your name? Aodhan?
Aodhan.
Aodhan. It's just Aodhan.
Yeah, it's an Irish spelt name.
All right. How did you become involved with Hillsong and and the whole Young and Free movement?
Since from the age of about 14, 15, I was writing and singing in youth, and then I guess when Laura Toggs sort of announced that there was going to be a youth expression, I guess I was part of that, and because I've been writing for so long and I've been singing and worship leading in our youth group, it just naturally came to be that I would be a part of it with a bunch of other guys who were doing the same thing across the church.
The Young and Free album is such a success worldwide. It's like phenomenal. How did the album We Are Young and Free come about?
United was the youth band for so long, and then they're all grown up, they all had kids, and they've moved past the youth ministry. So for a little while, there was a little gap, like in our youth group, we didn't really have an expression. And so Laura was like to us, Laura Toggs, I'll mention her a lot, but she was like, there's a need in our youth ministry for an expression that kids we need to express what's happening in youth. And so I think last year in October, we sort of had this idea that we, try and start something, and we tried new songs in youth, and that first song was Alive. So, but I think for us, it just came back because we noticed that these kids wanted to express something. There was something happening in youth, that God was doing something, and we wanted to bring voice to it. So that's how Young and Free sort of came about.
Did you guys expect the album to go #1 all over the world? It was #1 in Sweden, Norway, Australia, and I can go on. Did you guys expect that?
For me, I've never done this before. So I've never written on a church album before. This was the first thing. And so, I think we're blessed to be a part of a church that has done well in the past, and with people who have, paved the way for us. So we're standing on the shoulders of giants. But I think it's still crazy for me when I was away. I was over in America when this happened, so I didn't have much internet connection because I never had my phone on me. So I sort of missed out on what happened. And then when I found out what was going on with the album, it shocked me. I was like, because it's funny when you're doing these things, like these songs we're singing on Friday nights to, however many people, but, not millions of people, not the people that have heard it now, and so to take something that's happening on Friday night and then go, hey, what you did on Friday night now is #1 in America, or #1 in, wherever it is, that's crazy to me.
The title, We Are Young and Free, why did you guys choose that title?
I think we chose the title because it's what we are. And especially on our first album, I think we need people to understand that, we're only young and we're only free because of Jesus, or we are young naturally because that's how old we are, but we're only free because of Jesus.
Alive was the first single of the Young and Free album. Why did you guys choose that song as the first single?
Yeah, so we chose Alive because that was the first song that came. I remember we were like, oh my gosh, this is so different. Like, it sounds like, compared to what we were doing, it was at the time was so different. Now Alive feels normal to us. Papa's like, we should show Laura. And I'm like, yeah, we should, but I'm so scared to show her because it's so different. She's not going to love it. Anyway, so we showed Laura, and Laura was like stoked out of her mind. She was like, this is the best thing I've ever heard. And we're like, oh, okay, cool. And she's like, we're doing it at youth, which was that Friday. So a couple of days later, we did the song, and it just, the atmosphere, everything just changed like that. People were into it like you'd never. It was one of the craziest moments of my life.
You're 20. You're living like God's purposes right now. You're a worship leader, songwriter. You got great friends. Many young
Yeah,
people are looking for God's plan in their life. Um,
yeah,
what would you like to say to young people that are looking for God's plan in their life?
yeah. I would say speak to God and give time to God to hear from Him. So a lot of the time we're constantly going, God, where do you want me to do? What do you want me to do? God, where do you want me to go? God, God, God. And you're never giving God time. God wants to talk to you, but you're just constantly, you're not can just. I think to be relaxed and to go, God, pray to God and let Him speak to you. And I say it all the time, but be in His Word. And the main place where God will speak to you and where God will direct you will be in His Word. Know that whatever God has for you is good, and every plan that He has is for you to prosper and not to be harmed. So I'd say just be open, and keep your ears open to hear what God wants to say.